good, but they not ready. Oh no, it feels so good in that Dropbox Chevy, sitting on phones. It feels so good when I'm riding coast to coast and getting my dough. They see me shining, hating on the low. Well, how that feel? Tell me how that feel. How that feel? How that feel? Tell me how that feel. If you ask me, it couldn't feel better.
Yeah, welcome. This is Coach Stig here in the Coach Stig Show. We're here to talk sports. We want to welcome you to 100radiolive.com. And we're here tonight to talk a little Dallas Cowboy football. It's always a great topic. We also talk Dallas Mavericks. We talk youth sports. We talk high school. I am Coach Stig. I am the director of Texas Superstar Youth Sports Group and Stigger Youth Development. And we're a nonprofit. And what we try to do is we try to create opportunities for youth athletes. Athletics is one of the great tools that can be used to develop young people, and that's what we try and do. Shout out to HP Bobcats, Coach Tavar Watson and the group over there at Hamilton Park. They do a great job. Also, I want to thank 100 Radio Live and Dirt, who is the operations manager there at 100 Radio Live. That allows us to have this show here to talk sports. And we also want to delve into, again, the youth sports realm, because that's where it all begins. You know, you have many of the NFL players, they started playing football when they were 6 years old, some of them younger. And so it's a long journey to get to that ultimate goal. But as you know, and as I know, not every player that plays youth sports is going to end up in the NFL. I mean, that's really a rarity that happens. If you had to put a percentage on it, the percentage is very, very low. So the things that are the benefit in team sports, and specifically football, is that it can teach you a lot of life lessons. It's like a classroom, basically, because for those of you that love football like I do, born and raised in Texas, and they'll probably throw dirt in my face in Texas too. This is a football state. We love the game, and as you know, it's a lot like life. You get knocked down, you get rocked. You have to figure out a way to get back up and get into the game. And so these are some of the lessons that we're teaching to young football players, those of us who coach the game. And I want to encourage all the coaches, all the youth football coaches. Shout out to all the youth football coaches and those that run youth organizations throughout Texas, throughout the country for that matter. I think you're doing the Lord's work, as they say, working with young people, giving them an outlet and an opportunity. To me, youth coaches are, those are my heroes. Really, one of my biggest heroes ever, Coach Eddie Robinson, who coached at Grambling University for over 50 years. 50 years. Do you understand that? Do you understand how many young men that you can affect? Or do you understand how many young men he affected over a 50-year period of coaching and mentoring? So even though Coach Robinson is no longer with us, his memory, for those that understand how difficult it is to coach. I mean, it is a difficult undertaking, but it is just as rewarding as it is difficult. Because if you can imagine, you got to bring together, all these different types of personalities. You got to coach. Really, every year is a new year. You have to take what you have, and you have to do the best that you have with it. So I want to encourage the youth football coaches to stay with it, stick with it, keep working hard. Know that there are those of us out here that appreciate what you're doing. Also, if you're a youth football coach, we're live right now. Give us a call. Call in 214-494-9064. And we'd love to talk with you about your team, about specific issues that you have, or if you just want to say how much you love what you do. Because as a coach, hey, I love it. I love putting together a game plan. I love trying to deal with the circumstances that you come up against as a coach. And because sometimes you're just flat outmatched, you're just overmatched. But you got to come up with a game plan. You got to figure it out. And that's what the great challenge is in regard to football and coaching is concerned. That's why we love it so much. Also, this show, the Coach Stig Show, we also want to encourage you to call in. We call it the shout-out, superstar shout-out. You know, if you've got a young player that's showing promise, or if you just have a young player, you don't have to have 5 or 6 touchdowns a game. I don't care. I mean, if you have a young player who's playing, call in. Tell us about him. Tell us about him or her in that case, because I know a lot of the female athletes, you know, we don't discriminate. We want to hear about your young athlete out there and how they're progressing. And, you know, we're here to you know, give advice if you need advice in regard to, you know, how to train your young athlete and different things like that, because that's one of the things I'm getting ready to do myself is to train my grandkids. I've got a 5-year-old grandson and 9-year-old granddaughter, and it's about time for them to put on the cleats because I like to train them on grass, even though you train for basketball and other things. It's just nothing like cleats and grass to get an athlete where they need to be in terms of explosiveness and quickness. So, again, we are here to talk sports. Dallas Cowboys, like I said, Jerry, he's hinting, even though over the years, I mean, Romo has well, you know, I've never really been a Tony Romo fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan ever since I knew what a football was, okay? Dallas Cowboy fan. But, you know, this year was different, and I think a lot of people don't understand. You know, a lot of people are watching football, but they don't understand football, okay? Tony Romo had a decent year, in my opinion, only because he stopped trying to make these superstar plays. And, you know, they were handing that ball off to number 29, DeMarco Murray, who, as of recent developments, has taken his cleats and went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Apparently the Cowboys did not want to re-sign DeMarco. They felt like after 392 carries last year, yeah, that's right, they gave it to him 392 times. Did you hear me, Coach? Yeah. And so they probably felt like he didn't have a whole lot left in the tank. But at the same time, I mean, I think DeMarco Murray was the engine that drove that team. They said, well, the line, anybody can run behind that line. Do you hear me, Coach Tavar Watson? We had this major argument. And they think that they can just plug anybody in. They can just stick anybody back there. In this case, they've signed Darren McFadden, okay, the Arkansas running back out of Arkansas. Been with the Raiders, drafted by the Raiders. And I was reading where, and I'm sure it was a joke. I hope it was a joke. But they said that when Darren McFadden signed his 2-year contract with the Cowboys, he broke his wrist while he was signing his contract. Yeah, that's how fragile people think he is. They don't think he'll last. Well, you know, I'll tell you this. I know one thing. Darren McFadden will not carry the ball 392 times. That's not going to happen. I can guarantee that. I would put actual money on that. So that's not going to happen. But the Cowboys have, you know, a draft pick in the later rounds of the draft, and so they I anticipate that they'll probably draft a running back, perhaps the running back out of Wisconsin who had a pretty big year. So, you know, they had a good year last year, Jerry and Stephen Jones, and so now all of a sudden they're genius. You know, they're gonna, you know, they got Dez Bryant, who I think is probably the best football player in the NFL. Period. In the statement, because you have a guy last year. Let me talk about Dez Bryant for a second. You've got a football player who was in a contract year, okay, playing for I think it was like $1.6 million. The highest paid wide receiver last year was $16 million, which was the receiver out of Detroit. This player, Dez Bryant, played his heart out 110% every game, even though he could have gotten injured. He could have, you know, boggled his career with an injury, career-ending injury. But it didn't matter because this guy is such a football player, such a competitor. He played lights out 110% every game. He made catches that were almost humanly impossible. And so, but of course, you know, Dez is kind of hanging out there. They franchised him. He'll make $12 million he'll make $12 million next year. But you got to remember that $12 million, he's in the 40% tax bracket, so they're going to hack about 40% of that off of the top. According to the latest news reports, it doesn't appear that they're going to sign him before the season starts either to a long-term contract. But the football games that I watched the Dallas Cowboys every game last year. I watched every game, and from what I saw, it was DeMarco Murray and it was Dez Bryant who were really the major contributors. And again, the offensive line is good. Yes, the offensive line is good. But DeMarco Murray also has a running style that complements that line. I mean, they have a zone blocking scheme where they're pushing people out, and he's finding the gaps in the backside of that offensive line. You got to have some instincts to do that. So I think DeMarco Murray did a tremendous job. You've got a guy that not only can find the creases in that zone blocking scheme, but let me tell you one thing. He finishes the runs as well. He can finish them. I mean, the defensive players come up. By the time the fourth quarter gets there, they start making business decisions. They're not sure if they really want to tackle DeMarco or not because this guy ran the ball hard and he finished the runs. No running out of bounds. I mean, he laid it down. So I was, needless to say, a big DeMarco Murray fan. I mean, even at Oklahoma, because I've been an Oklahoma fan, Sooner fan, ever since I was a knee-high to a bullfrog, as we say here in Texas. So I've been a Sooner fan all my life. And so I watched DeMarco Murray at Oklahoma, and he had a great career there. And he just continues to be great. He even here in Dallas, setting Cowboy records and, NFL records. I mean, just a tremendous player. So we wish him the best in Philadelphia. I mean, he got his payday. He got $21 million up front. He'll have $1 million base salary next year. It's not a bad look for a player. You know what I mean? Not a bad look. So congratulations on that, DeMarco. I'm sure Dez will get his money. But like I said before, I think Dez Bryant, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is the best player in the NFL. Bar none, because not only did this guy catch passes that aren't humanly possible, he refuses to lose. A year before last, everyone was up in an uproar. He was walking up and down the sideline in a frenzy. That's because the guy refuses to lose. And so his attitude and the energy that he brought literally turned this team around, in my opinion. You have to give Coach Garrett some credit for that, because every team, I don't care if it's Little League, high school, doesn't matter. Every team is a reflection of the coach. And so I'll give Coach Garrett credit because he stayed on message. He was a calming presence there. He talked about working hard. And matter of fact, their mantra last year was finish the fight. So he had those guys in fight mode every week. And that Cowboy team, I'll tell you, I liked what I saw last year because they were fighting and scrapping. They had guys that were on one-year contracts, guys that didn't know if they would be in the league next year or not. And, I mean, they were fighting and scrapping every week. And we're going to find out if they can duplicate that magic that they created last year, because I love that team last year, that defense. I mean, they played fast, and, I mean, they got after people, and they were physical, and they had bad intentions. And so that's what you got to have defensively, in my opinion. And whenever I build a team or start a team, I start with defense. I mean, I think defense, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, I mean, the defense is where you start, because that's what's going to win you a championship. You can win games with offense. Yeah, you can win games with offense. A lot of coaches like to run up the scores, and they like the big plays and the triple reverses and whatever. But, yeah, I mean, that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. But I want a defense that makes the other team, gives them concern, and I'll just put it like that. The other team is concerned. But anyway, what we'll do is we're going to come back, and we're going to talk a little Cowboy football when we come back. And because Jerry is hinting around about he might want to draft another quarterback or bring another quarterback in. Okay, well, we'll see. That sounds a little, we'll talk about that when we come back. I am Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show. We're here with 100radiolive.com, and thank you for listening. When we call back, give us a call in. Let's talk Cowboys. It's 214-494-9064, and we'll be right back with you.
gets on my nerves to the highest level. I want to be on the record and say this. I do not want these kids to fail. And Kerry, I'm talking to you too. I do not want these kids to fail. I do not want these kids to suffer. But I cannot tell you how many phone calls on my radio show on Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio, whether the emails, the tweets, or whatever. You literally have a bunch of fools, idiots, who sit up there and text and tweet and all. Yo, man, what's the problem? What's wrong with smoking a little? It's illegal. And on top of it all, it's prohibited in the NFL. Stop arguing about, oh, why can't we? Because they said so. Period. That's all that matters. They have millions to offer you. In order for you to get it, you can't smoke weed. Period. There's nothing to discuss. And if you can't accept that, go do something else. It's that simple. There's plenty of jobs where they don't test you for smoking weed. They don't test for that. Go get that job. You chose a profession where they prohibit it, and you have to accept it. These idiots out here encouraging these dudes to keep doing it, it shouldn't be a problem. They're not trying to pay your bills, Randy Gregory. They are not trying to pay your bills. Don't listen to them. Get off the weed. Stop doing it. And by the way, if you took what he said into account, Skip, do you know what that means? That means you were doing it all through the season. Right. I'm sorry. I thought it was illegal. So that means you were doing it in college when you wasn't supposed to be doing it. I mean, this is just so... This is ridiculous. And, oh, by the way, let me get controversial for the last part. Don't you notice again, Skip? All of these are brothers. I don't see anybody. I don't see the white guys getting called out for smoking weed. You put a shot on all of these guys smoking weed that got busted for it, that got caught with it, all this stuff. All of them. Practically all of them. Black. Just tired of it. Blowing millions for some weed? Really? Man, go break it.
Welcome back. That's Stephen A. Smith talking about the player out of Nebraska that he just mentioned that admitted that he failed drug tests during the combine. So Stephen A. Smith went on a rant. I mean, he went off, And, you got players that are losing millions of dollars. Of course, usually it'll drop your draft stock. I guess unless you play in Seattle, Washington, or Denver, Colorado. Those are a couple of states where the marijuana, the Mary Jane, is legal. But in any event, you can understand Stephen A. Smith's total frustration that can weed be that good? Can it be that good that you can't keep from smoking it? It's so good that you pass up millions. Literally, you lose millions of dollars in earnings. I don't know. I mean, somebody needs to explain that to me. Maybe someone can call in and explain that. 214-494-9064. And we'll be happy to talk about it. Also, oh, yeah, by the way, I am Coach Stig. I am the director of Stiger Youth Development and Texas Superstar Youth Sports. We're a nonprofit organization. And we're here on 100radiolive.com. We want to thank the radio station, DIRT, D-I-R-T, the operations manager, for allowing us to have this venue to talk sports and to talk about nonprofit and charitable giving, because we're going to talk about supporting non-profit organizations, and because many of the sports organizations are just that. They're nonprofit, and they depend on charitable giving from people of goodwill. And so, there's many opportunities for you to be a part of the development of young people by supporting organizations like Stiger Youth Development, Texas Superstar Youth Sports, HP Bobcats. I mean, the list goes on. And we're going to have some guests on here from different organizations and allow them to present their information so that you can then make up your mind to be a supporter. Because, again, you don't have to support necessarily my nonprofits. I mean, just everyone should just pick a philanthropic cause and support that. Because, we all pay taxes. We work, we pay the taxes. And oftentimes the governmental entities, you may not agree all the time with what they do with your tax money. So you have the opportunity to be proactive. You can choose to support charities that are aligned with your value system and that are in line with what you would like to support. For instance, at Stiger Youth Development, we have the Child Care Scholarship Fund, where we support single working mothers and working families with 2 or more children, help them to pay child care costs, because child care costs is one of the biggest expenses that you're going to find in a family's budget. So, we decided that was a worthwhile undertaking to support working mothers, because see, some people are working, so they're not eligible for maybe the government benefits, because there are benefits out there that for people that they're getting assistance from the government. But there are some people who fall between the cracks and they don't have a way to get those benefits. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be that, to be a resource for people that may not qualify otherwise. But what I'm trying to say, my point is this: just find a philanthropic cause to support. Find a charity to support. And I think once you do that, I think you will understand why many of us have decided to create nonprofits, because it feels great when you have the ability to help people when it's within your power to do so. Okay, now let's get back over here and talk about the Cowboys a little bit, about Jerry Henning, that there may be a quarterback in the draft coming up. Now, there's a couple of quarterbacks that I'd like to see the Cowboys perhaps reach out for that are maybe doable for the Cowboys. You got the quarterback down at Baylor University, Bryce Petty. I don't know if you watched Baylor. I watched Baylor quite a bit because I like that offense. They wide, it's wide open. They spread the field, and they got guys that can run, and he can flat throw that thing. He can throw it. He can make all the throws. He can feather it into the corner on the fades. He can zip it in there on the slants. This guy literally last year, he threw for like 3,855 yards. He had 29 touchdowns. You know what I mean? And he's like 6'3", 230. So he's not like a little guy that's gonna be afraid to stand up in there and deliver that thing. Guy's 6'3", 230. And a guy like that, if the Cowboys stick to what they've been doing and run that football, they can find somebody that can tote that rock. And you got a big guy that can stand up in there, and even when people are coming down in his face and putting that heat on him, he can stand up in there and deliver that ball. And you got a guy like Dez Bryant out on the outside that can flat catch a ball. I don't care how you throw it. You can throw it any way you want. This guy can flat go get it. And, that catch he made in the playoff game, that should go down in NFL history, because every person, even the Packers, even the Packers knew he caught that ball. They knew he caught that ball. That's why you play the game, to see guys make great catches and great plays like that. That's one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. You talk about Odell Beckham and that one-handed catch he made against Dallas. But, you look at the situation that was, playoff game, go home, win or go home. I believe it was 4th down. It does not get any more pressure-packed than that. But yet, Dez Bryant, he delivers. He just flat-out delivers. He went and got it, and he was going to catch that ball no matter what happened and no matter – but the only thing that really messed the play up is that he just tried so hard to score. He wanted to put it. He wanted to put it in the end zone. He wanted a touchdown, and so that created a situation where they were able to question whether he caught it or not. But he definitely made a football move, reaching out for the end zone. If you go on YouTube and watch some of his high school highlights when he was down there at Lufkin, Texas, playing. There in Lufkin. This same guy, same type of catches, same type of a player. This guy has been great for a long time. But as you can tell, I'm a Dez Bryant fan. But in any event, a guy like Bryce Petty or Brett Hundley, if you watch any of the UCLA games, you got a quarterback like Brett Hundley, and he's 6'3", 227, so he's a pretty good-sized guy. He doesn't appear to be as thick as Bryce Petty, but, I mean, he's had over, 10,000 yards and 75 touchdowns in his career there at UCLA. So he can flat throw that pill as well. And I'd like to see, I'd like to see him draft Brett Hundley. Maybe he'll wear number 17, and get that Quincy Carter flashback. A lot of people, you have the people that when you say Quincy Carter, you're going to get two reactions. You're going to get one was poor Quincy, or you're going to get, I hate that guy. But anyway, I liked Quincy. I thought Quincy Jones, not Quincy Jones. I thought Quincy Carter did a fairly decent job for the situation that he was put in. Guy coming into the NFL and just gets pushed into the lineup and has to play. So I thought he did good. But anyway, give us a call. Give us your opinion on quarterbacks, and if Jerry really has the guts to actually draft a quarterback, because, they don't like to make Tony Romo nervous. And, that's why they try to pick they try to bring in backup quarterbacks for him that won't, cause him to be uncomfortable. Because I do not understand for the life of me why Vince Young, University of Texas, NFL Rookie of the Year, national champion, the accolades go on and on. How come Vince Young is not in the National Football League? Can somebody tell me that? They even refused Vince Young entrance into the NFL Veterans Combine. They had a combine to bring in veterans to see if some of them could still play. And for some reason, Vince Young was denied entrance. Now, I know that Jeff Fisher is on the Rules Committee. Jeff Fisher is a tenured employee of the NFL, but apparently he has a tremendous amount of sway in the NFL, because once Vince Young got crossways of Jeff Fisher, it was over. His career was literally ruined. And, I've been watching football, coaching football. I watched it all my life, and coaching it a great part of my life. You cannot tell me that Vince Young cannot play the quarterback position. Even though I think he's probably 31 or 32 right now, you cannot tell me Vince Young can't play the position. I just don't believe that. But in any event, the Cowboys are looking to draft a quarterback, perhaps, to sit behind Romo, because Romo is coming to the end of his career, whether some people think he is or not. But eventually he's not going to be able to play, because, that's the nature of the game. The NFL stands for not for long, not for long. You can play for a certain amount of time, but eventually Father Time is undefeated. So he eventually catches up with you. So we're going to see what actually Jerry is going to do. Now, some people think that the DeMarco Murray departure is going to hurt the Cowboys. And some people also think that the Eagles signed DeMarco so that the Cowboys wouldn't have him, and that would weaken the Cowboys' chances to do what they did last year. Now, Chip Kelly, of course, he's going to deny that, because, he sees himself as a guru and as a genius. Even Jimmy Johnson says, Chip Kelly reminds me of myself. So, Chip Kelly is kind of in that Jimmy Johnson vein, kind of a gambler type guy. But we'll see. You trade LaShawn. Number 25 for the Eagles. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going blank here. But, they trade their best player, LaShawn McCoy. Yeah. You trade your best player away, and then you bring in DeMarco Murray, who carried the ball 392 times last year. I thought I'd repeat that. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, because Chip Kelly, with all the moves that he's made, he'd better win. He'd better show it, because if not, you know how the people in Philly are. They'll flat run you out of there. They will literally run you out of there. So we'll see exactly what happens in this case with Chip Kelly, the DeMarco Murray, and the whole deal. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a little quick music break. Tonight we're playing the Dirt Beats compilation, because, Dirt, not only does he run a radio station, but he also creates musical beats and produces music. So if you got a young aspiring rapper out there, holla at your boy Dirt, because he can hook him up with some with some pretty nice beats. But anyway, here we go. I'm Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show. And we're talking sports, talking Cowboys. We're talking football. So give us a call, 214-494-9064. We'd be happy to talk to you. Matter of fact, call us and talk about your youth athlete. If you have a young athlete in youth sports, in junior high, high school, college, call us up. We'd be happy to talk with you. Again, this is the Coach Stig Show, 100radiolive.com, where we give 100% and we keep it 100. Oh, yeah, that's that Dirt Beats. Dirt Beats. Welcome back. This is Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show. And we're talking sports. We're talking football. Talking Dallas Cowboys. We're talking DeMarco Murray, Dez Bryant, LaShawn McCoy, and what these many of the moves that are being made here in the NFL. I am, as I said, Coach Stig. I am the director of Steger Youth Development and Texas Superstar Youth Sports. And I want to take time right now to talk about something that's really important to me. It's a program that we are about to implement. We're offering it to youth sports program. Initially, youth sports programs. Initially, we're going to offer it to youth football organizations. It's a program called YASEC, and that's the Youth Academic Skills Empowerment Challenge. And what YASEC does, it basically takes and plugs in to the football schedule, to the existing football schedule of a youth organization. It plugs in an academic challenge so that the players who will be playing each other that week in a football contest, usually that happens on a Saturday morning or sometime during the day Saturday, during that week, they will have went to our website and they will have taken a academic challenge, which will have questions regarding academics as well as life skills, and there will also be concussion avoidance information that the players will also be exposed to as well. And so what will happen is that they will take these challenges. They'll get points for every question that they answer correctly. They'll also get points for actually finishing the challenge as well. And then those scores will be tabulated. There'll be a player score, and then there will be a team score. And the team that has the highest score will win that academic challenge. So what will happen is that Saturday after they play the game and they play that athletic contest and have the game. At the end of the game, when the teams meet at the middle of the field, as we always do to show sportsmanship and shake hands, at that point there will be an announcement as to the academic winner of that particular contest. So you have a situation, and what we're trying to create a competitive spirit around academics. If you can imagine that, we're trying to help players to understand the importance of academic preparedness. But really, our number one goal is to get these youth players ready for college. In other words, if you start out early learning how to study information and prepare for challenges, because there's also going to be study tips available there on the website. The website's going to have a social media area. It's going to have a forum where the players can interact back and forth on a forum, much like Facebook, like you do there. Each player will have their own page. The player will have a page where they can upload their pictures and people can communicate with them. So it's going to be a great way for players to get to know each other, for camaraderie amongst teams, and it's going to create what I feel a competitive view toward academics. Because just imagine this. The game takes place. One team beats the other team 20-6, okay? Beat them pretty good. But when they get to the middle of the field and announce the winner of the academic contest, the other team, the team that lost the game, won the academic challenge. And so what's going to happen is that, and if you know anything about the competitive spirit of athletes, the team that won, they're not going to really feel like they had a complete victory, because even though they beat them on the field, hey, they beat us academically. So that team is going to go back the next week and prepare harder and study harder and get more competitive about those challenges so that they can have a complete victory over the other team. And that's the dynamic that we're trying to create. We're trying to create a dynamic where kids are going to learn study habits. They're going to learn time management habits. They're going to learn concussion avoidance. And they're going to be much more better prepared for college. And because of undergoing these challenges, they're going to be exposed to information that perhaps maybe they weren't exposed to before. Now, the information that they will be answering questions in regard to, it will be content standard for their grade. We're targeting grades 2nd through 7th grade, which covers most youth football organizations. And we're going to create a situation where we're going to create more winners, because you'll have a situation where a team may win the athletic championship. They won all their games. They won the league championship. But there could be another team who actually wins the academic side of the roster. They end up being the academic champion. And so, because if you've been around youth sports and football as long as I have, sometimes teams that aren't winning a lot of games, their season can lag because they're not really playing for that much. But in this case, you're always going to be in the running for the academic championship, because you can study the questions. Because how's it going to work is every Sunday night, Sunday about 12 noon or so, there's going to be a list of topics that are going to be posted, and those are the topics that the players will have to study for, because the questions will be in regard to those areas. And so they'll study those areas, and then they'll take that challenge. They'll have till Friday of that week, midnight Friday, to take the challenge. And then, as I said before, the scores will be tabulated, and then there'll be a winner between the two teams. So what you're going to have is you're going to have two teams that are engaged in a football game that Saturday, but they're also going to be engaged in an academic contest. And boy, let me tell you one thing. I mean, that's going to be really, I think, really, really exciting, because it raises the level of competition to another level. And I think these kids really need to be more competitive academically, because how many times have you heard the stories of the great player, the great football player that can't make the grade, okay? That can't qualify for college, that has to go to junior college and try to come up that rank and go to these junior colleges, make the circuit, because they don't have the academic skills to get placed in a Division I school. And so I know that if we start these young people out early, like we're starting in 2nd grade with this program, I know that if we start this out early, we can get these children in a position to where they can compete academically the same way that they compete athletically, because we've got colleges that are coming from every state in the union here to Texas to recruit players. Just go look, go Google it. You can there's a player from Texas just about on every roster from every college, because there's a lot of talent here. But there's also more of those that are, going off to school and they can't make it. They have to come back, or else they can't qualify to begin with. So what we're going to do through YASIC, which is the Youth Academic Skills Empowerment Challenge, we're going to create better, more competent student athletes. I mean, who says that a kid can't be a great athlete and a great student? Who said that? I believe that it can be done, because personally, I'm tired of seeing these kids spend all this time, all these hours of practice. They go spend all this time playing football, and then at the end of the day, when it gets ready to go off to college, because in this day and age, you need a college degree to really be successful, to get the kind of job that you may want to get to take care of a family. You're going to be better off. You're going to have a better chance with a college degree. So, personally, I'm just tired of kids not being able to make the grade, and we're going to do something about it. And we're hoping that you will join us. We're hoping that you will donate, because you can go to our website. That's tsysg.org, tsysg.org, and you can donate directly there from the website. And of course, we're 501c3, and we'll give you whatever, we give you receipts and everything to show that you donated, and it's tax deductible. And because April 15th is approaching, it's fast approaching. So you have to April 15th. You can make a tremendous donation, because you're either going to write that check to Uncle Sam, or you can write it to a worthy cause that will help young people to have a better life. And this YASIC program, we already have people who are wanting to get behind us and support it. Right now, we have the website, which is in development right now. And it's going to be, we plan to have it available before the end of the summer. That way we can start to get organizations signed up, and we can start to turn this thing around in terms of creating more competent football players, guys that are not only great athletes, but are also great students. And that's what we intend, and that's what we aim to do. So help us in that cause. Again, that's tsysg.org, or Texas Superstar Youth Sports Group, tsysg.org, and go to our website, and you can donate from there. And you know what? I am just so excited about this program. I cannot wait till we have that first academic winner of a youth football schedule. It's going to be one exciting day for me personally. Here we go. More dirt beats. Man, I'll tell you what. This guy is off the hinges here. I'm Coach Stig. This is 100radiolive.com, where we give 100% and we keep it 100. We'll be right back. More sports.
You don't wanna get rolled on. You don't wanna get rolled on. You don't wanna get rolled on. That's what that is, nigga. Yeah, I'm about to go postal for my man. Harder than the shotty blow, picking up the shells. Cold case, no trace, need forensics. I swear, I'm on my grizzly like a bear from Memphis. Ay, call my nigga Killer Cam, get the K. That jumper leave him wet, got a shot like Rudy Gay. Bang, network the click, Philly station the game. I'm D-I-R-T in case you know my name. See the beat, man.
Yeah, D-I-R-T. Welcome back. This is Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show. We're here on running100radiolive.com, and we're here talking sports. We're also talking nonprofits, charity, giving, and we hope that you will find a way to support a nonprofit organization. As I've said many times, it doesn't have to be my nonprofit organization that you support, or our, I should say, because I have so many people that are helping me, my board of directors. Let me say, give a shout out to Radin Babb, Tommy Hodge, and the beautiful and talented Megan Birmingham, who are my board of directors. I want to thank them. So it's a we thing here with Stiger Youth Development and Texas Superstar Youth Sports. So again, you don't necessarily have to support our nonprofit, but we hope that each and every one of you, within the sound of my voice, that you'll choose a philanthropic cause that you will support, because charities can be more targeted. I know the U.S. government does a lot. They provide a lot of services for citizens, but oftentimes there are some needs that go unmet, and it's a situation where the nonprofits can be more targeted, in communities and where the need is great in many cases. So we hope that you will find a way to support a nonprofit at some point here. We were talking about Dallas Cowboys and what their potential season might be. We are also talking about the YASEC program, which is being launched through Texas Superstar Youth Sports. And if you have a business, we're looking for sponsorships. The YASEC program is also going to have what we call a end zone, where the players will be able to score. And scoring will involve the points that they accrue, because they're going to get points for right answers. They're going to get points for finishing the challenge. And so the end zone will be a place where the players can then take those points that they acquire from answering questions correctly, and then they can purchase, gift cards. They can get sporting apparel, perhaps free pizza, different things like that. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to solicit sponsorships, people of goodwill who want to help us with this program, because what we want to do, we want to correlate, we want to help the players, the participants. It's going to be football players as well as cheerleaders. I mean, the cheerleaders are also welcome to be a part of it, where the cheerleader groups, they'll do their halftime show, and then at the end of halftime, we'll announce who won the academic challenge between the cheerleaders. So we want to get everyone involved. We want to get everyone focused on academics. We want to get everyone competing academically. And so that's what we intend to do. But we're looking for sponsorships so that we can then fund the end zone, so that these player participants can use those points that they acquire from participating in the program and for answering the questions correctly, because it's going to be a situation where we want to show these young people that if you work hard, if you apply yourself, if you study, well then that's how you get rewarded. So we're going to have what's called the end zone, where they can use their points that they acquire to get awards and prizes. Isn't that exciting? So it'll give a lot of the players something to focus on. I mean, I know football. We all love football. They focus on football, and the seasons are long. But this will give them another focus, and I think, which is probably even more important, they'll be focused on becoming better academically, so that they can help their team win. Because we're not going to compare the individual scores. Now, we're going to provide individual scores for the players, because we want the parents and the coaches to see where the players may be weak or where the players may have some need of tutoring and that type of thing. And so we want to also partner with some tutoring facilities so that if that's the case, that we can have that available for players as well. But we're going to have like a weekly printout, or the parent or the coach can come to the site and look and see how that particular player scored, if they were weak on English or math or whatever the case was. And then that way you have an opportunity to step in and get help for that student so that they don't have a weakness, you know. And so what we're trying to do, we're trying to get these players ready for college. I'm just going to flat out say it because a D1 scholarship to a major university, that's $30,000 a year. I mean, and some are more than that. Some of these private institutions. I mean, a scholarship is a tremendous amount of money. So who says that your child can't qualify? I mean, if you have an athlete, young athlete who's athletic and can run, throw, jump, and do all these things, who says that if he doesn't apply himself academically the same way, because that's what the YASIC program is, we're going to have them preparing academically to compete as well. And so we feel that we can get it done. We can get both things done. We can create the great athletes that people come here to Texas to get, and we can create some scholars, people that know how to process information, know how to manage their time and study, know how to make good life decisions, because part of the challenge will involve life skills, making good decisions. It'll deal with finances, because a lot of young people don't actually learn finances. You hear about NFL players all the time. They get to the league, they get a big check, they have no idea. You know, they have no idea what to do with it. So we plan to basically touch all the bases and help these young people to be more well-rounded and not just a football player. We want to bring this program to a level to where it'll be to your child's advantage to play football, because they get to go get to participate in this academic program and come out of that being a better student than they were before they went in. And of course, we already know that the great youth coaches in this area here, DFW area, and around the country, here in DFW, I mean, we got some great coaches. I mean, they're turning out some great players, some great teams. And so we at Texas Superstar Youth Sports, we want to jump in over on the other side of it, because, you know, I've coached, like I said, many years youth football, and I feel like I've done all I can do on the athletic side. I mean, you know, how many defenses can you scheme? How many plays can you draw up, you know? And so I want to have an effect on the academic side, and that's why we created YASEC, which is the Youth Academic Skills Empowerment Challenge. And so we created that so that we could do the same thing academically that we've done athletically, and that's to help kids to excel and succeed, and that's what we intend to do. Now, again, anything that we do, we can't do it without the support of people of goodwill. And so, again, our website, it's tsysg.org. That's tsysg.org. You can go there. We've got donation buttons right there on the front page. You can go also to on Facebook. I hope you'll like our page on Facebook. It's Stiger Youth Development, and it's also Texas Superstar Youth Sports. And you can like our pages and share it with your friends, because this program, I know in my heart, and God's willing, because without God in your plan, you might as well chunk it in. But God's willing, this program will go nationwide. It'll be a nationwide program, and we'll have it all across the country. Now, I mean, because there are so many areas, especially some of the lower income areas, where these children need the YASIC program. They need the impetus to excel academically, so that they can change their lives, so they can literally change the lives of their families if they get to the point to where they can qualify for that D1 scholarship, and then not only qualify, but go on and have the skills to finish, and so that they can then be in a position to either be in business for themselves or to work for a corporation. Because I'm big on people being entrepreneurs. I'm big on people creating business opportunities, for themselves, and I encourage people all the time. I'm encouraging you right now. Hey, you know someone out that has a small business? Hey, buy something from them. do business with them. If they've got a product that you're about to roll down to Walmart to buy, and you can get it from a small business person, I encourage you to do business with the small business person. Nothing against Walmart, okay? But when we do business with small business owners, we spread the wealth, okay? Because that person has, children, bills, all kinds of obligations. And so by patronizing small business people, I think it's just the American thing to do, in my opinion. One of the things here, I noticed a note in the paper where Troy Aikman, that's number 8, the Dallas Cowboys, Hall of Famer, said that, he wouldn't encourage his son to actually play football. And, a lot of people feel like that football is currently under attack right now, okay? Because a lot of people like Chris Borland, who plays with the San Francisco 49ers, I think he's a 24-year-old player who is retiring because he says he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to end up with concussions and end up, limited, at some point in his life. So he's backing out of the game. And then you have Troy Aikman, who comes in and says, hey, if I had a son, because I don't think Troy has a son. I think he has girls. Yeah, I believe he has all girls. No, he doesn't have a son. But he's saying that if he did, he would not encourage his son to actually play football. I'm like, come on, Troy, come on. I mean, yes, football is a dangerous game, but one of the things that makes it really dangerous is when you have over-enthusiastic coaches who are not teaching the proper technique. You can't run up in there, and we taught it. I mean, I taught it back in the day. Stick your hat in there. We were telling kids, hey, stick your hat in there. But you can't do that. That's not going to be to the child's best interest to do that, to lay that hat on people like that, like we used to teach. And so right now, what I teach, we teach shoulder tackling. We're teaching shoulder tackling. As a matter of fact, rugby is one of the big teaching tools that I have personally been looking at because I want to talk with coaches and influence them to use the rugby tackling techniques because, rugby players, they don't wear helmets. So, they don't stick their head in there. What they do is they have a technique to where they line up a player's waistline. They line up the waistline, the outer hip, the outside hips, and then they hit that hip with shoulder, and it's kind of a contact and then a twist and roll. The Seattle Seahawks, which is one team that actually is big on the rugby tackling. I mean, they got drills and everything. As a matter of fact, you can see that video. I'm going to repost it on Texas Superstar Youth Sports and Stiger Youth Development, and you'll be able to see that video to where, I mean, that's what Seattle Seahawks do. And, they have an excellent defensive team. They get people on the ground because really that should be the main focus is to get the player on the ground. We don't have to blow him up. You don't have to knock his helmet off and knock his mouthpiece out and, rock his world. We don't have to do that. Let's just get him on the ground, okay? And let's line up and get ready for the next play. And so that's what we're teaching is shoulder tackling. Keep your head out of that thing. Same thing, get your knees bent, get your bottom down, get your knees bent. But we're using shoulder tackling, finding points between the where the waist and the thigh is, the waist and the thigh, and tackling people using that rugby tackling technique. I love it. I think it's great. I think it can save a lot of kids from experiencing the head trauma and the injuries that they have. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be a big proponent of, and that's one of the things that the YASIC program, we're going to be teaching that as well. We're going to be showing kids rugby tackling techniques, helping them to understand that, hey, you don't have to tackle with your head. You should never tackle with your head. Because of the way it moves your brain around in there and creates those concussions. So I am looking forward to the upcoming season and talking with some coaches, because when we go around with the YASIC program and introducing it to the coaches, it'll give me a great opportunity to share with them some of these new techniques in tackling, shoulder tackling, and rugby tackling. All right, here we got some more dirt beats for you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. This is Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show, 100radiolive.com. And you know what? We give 100% and we keep it 100. We'll be right back here in just a moment. welcome back. It's that Dirt Beats, dirtbeats.com. Yeah, Dirt's got a great blog over there as well. I'm Coach Stig. This is Coach Stig with 100radiolive.com. And this is the Coach Stig Show. We hope that you'll tune in, join us, because we're going to talk sports, whether it's pro, youth sports, high school, college, whatever the case is. Tonight we're sharing some of the Dirt Beats music. He's a music producer. He's also the operations manager here at the station. So he wears a lot of hats. But as you can see, the music production is greatness. I mean, that's flawlessness right there. That's greatness. So shout out to dirtbeats.com. If you need beats, if you got a rapper, because I know a lot of you out there are secret. You know, you're rappers secretly. So if you need a beat, holler at your boy Dirt, dirtbeats.com. That's at dirtbeats on Twitter, Instagram. We're also on Twitter at tsysg.org. That's tsysg.org. And we hope that you'll follow us there on Twitter as well. When we left, we were talking about concussions, and we were talking about concussion avoidance, which will be a huge part of the YASEC program. YASEC is the Youth Academic Skills Empowerment Challenge, which we will be offering to youth organizations this upcoming football season. But we do need your help. We really do. We need you to donate to this cause because we're going to have a state-of-the-art website. As I said, it's going to have a social media area, social forum, so that players can not only compete against each other, but they can become, lifelong friends. They can create lifelong relationships. Each player is going to have their own page so that, when you're getting ready to play a team for the upcoming week, you can get to know the players that you're actually going to play against. You go over to their pages and find out something about them, what their favorite foods are, what their favorite artists are, and different things. So I think that makes for better competition and for better sportsmanship as well. Because, I still, to this day, some of the guys I play football with, you see them right now today, man, and you're just, you're backslapping and having a good time because you forge some really great friendships playing the game of football. And so we're trying to facilitate that. We're trying to make it even better than it already is by allowing kids to get to know each other while they compete academically. Compete academically. That's right. We want to make that phrase a common phrase. We want to have these football players here in Texas because football is king in Texas. Football is the 800-pound gorilla. And so we want kids that are not only great football players, but we want kids that are tremendous scholars and academics as well. And it's doable because we're going to do it because failure is not an option. So we're asking you to help us with that. Again, you can go to our website. It's tsysg.org. We were talking about Troy Aikman. Said that if he had sons, he wouldn't want his sons to play football. But I disagree. I mean, everyone has their opinion, and, Troy has a right to that opinion. My sons, I had two sons. They both played the game, but I always prepared them to play the game. I didn't just, pull up in the car and push them out of the car and say, go play football. No, didn't do that. They had their own helmet, their own shoulder pads, and so we would work out during the spring like teams do. We would start preparing before the season so that when they did get to the first practice and the start of the season, they were ready to go. They knew what they were doing. And so as a parent, that's one thing that you have to be cognizant of as well. Just don't expect your child to roll out there and learn it from day one. Now, that's one of the things that we do here at Texas Superstar Youth Sports as well. We train kids. As I said earlier in the show, that I'm getting ready to start training my 5-year-old grandson, as well as my 9-year-old granddaughter. She's not playing football, but I think she's going to be a pretty good basketball player. She's left-handed, pretty athletic, so I think she's going to be a pretty good basketball player. But I'm going to start out training, my grandson, just training him on how to position himself, what he should and shouldn't do. And there's just different things that a football player needs to know. That way he can play the game without thinking about it. And so, again, if you have a youngster that you'd like to get introduced to the game the proper way, contact us, Texas Superstar Youth Sports on Facebook, TSYSG, and that's on Twitter. tsysg.org. Drop us a line. And again, if you hear the show, give us a call, 214-494-9064. That's also the number for tsysg.org. So you can give us a call, and we can see how we can set something up, perhaps to get your child an introduction. Yeah, I know one thing is that Coach Tavar Watson over at Hamilton Park, every summer there's a conditioning camp that goes on starting usually in June and goes all the way through the season, through the beginning of the season, where the kids are out there, I believe, about 3 times a week, working on footwork and drills and learning how to be in position to play this game, because a lot of football is positioning. And so what we work on is speed and agility and quickness and that kind of thing, because the players that move the quickest in the shortest area are generally the playmakers. And so that's what we try to do. So, but in any event, we are hoping that you will continue to listen to the show, that you'll contact us with any questions or concerns that you have, and that you'll also support the YASIC program that we're going to start here coming up this upcoming football season. I'm Coach Stig. This is the Coach Stig Show, and we're fixing to bolt. We're fixing to get out of here. We enjoyed talking with you. We're going to leave you with a little bit more dirt. And, again, this is 100radiolive.com, where we give 100% and we keep it 100. Have a good night.
Cause I ain't got another option. Watch where you going, cause when you going, see that they say. I know some niggas that's ready, willing to take your place. Stay focused, stay on it, I'm grinding. Cause I ain't got another option.
I'm focused, I'm tuned in. I'm really from the hood, you just moved in. My tool in, now my tool out. You think you crazy, let me show you what a fool about. I'm country born, I'm country raised. The country got me focused on my paper every day. Even if I starve, my children eat well. When it's in my blood, look at how I beat jail. I cheated death, I'm still breathing breaths. I still feel I'm one of the realest niggas left. Be careful who you trust, the streets ain't safe. Midnight in Dallas, killer smile in your face.
Watch where you going, cause where you going, see that they say. I know some niggas that's ready, willing to take your place. Stay focused, stay on it, I'm grinding. Cause I ain't got another option. Watch where you going, cause where you going, see that they say. I know some niggas that's ready, willing to take your place. Stay focused, stay on it, I'm grinding. Cause I ain't got another option. No other options. No other choices. It's either roll with the rush or protect your fortress. When the roof's on fire, I still carry torches. Then move like them horses that be in Porsches. Rap riot, breaking down them barricades. Look at they face, we gon' let that hate marinate. Move from the bottom like a pair of skates. It ain't safe, hit the fire escape. Evacuate, just admire the great. Immaculate, D-I-R-T. Ballin' on you niggas, baseline reverse, you can't guard me. No love in the streets, when I was trying to eat, they starved me. Now I'm just a hungry ass nigga on a heartbeat. Pardon these flames, I start fires. You niggas slipping, I'm on point like ball wire. Feeling washed up, I'ma gon' start the dryer. And keep pushing like a pusher with no charge prior.